Hi, I'm Chris Lotz.
Hi, I'm Pat Lotz.
With the Pat Lotz Real Estate Group. Thanks for tuning in to episode 3 of Beyond the Keys, a Pat Lotz podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for all new content. Today, we are talking about how to get your house ready to sell. If you want to sell for as much as possible, there are steps that you need to do to get that top dollar.
True.
True or false?
That is very true. Yep.
We've got a little 6 steps to get your house sell ready. There are a few bonus things, but the first one we'd like to talk about is, and this is good just to have, I think it's big for sellers and buyers to have a great education on home value. So first point is understanding your home value. Obviously, sellers believe they understand home value. There are things that we can help educate them. But why is it important for a seller to understand their home value? And you're a part of that process, but.
Well, I mean, first off, I get a lot of folks that are a little savvy and they know when they've kept up on the market, so they have a pretty good idea of what their house may or may not be worth. They're looking on Zillow and whatnot and getting that Zestimate, which is completely inaccurate. So don't use that. And also, people do think their house is worth $1 million, and it's not. So the most important thing that we need to do is at that appointment, we do a market analysis, comparable market analysis. So I provide data, supporting data to show them what their home is valued at based on recent sold data, pending data, and active data. And make adjustments on amenities, square footage, baths, walkout, basements, size of garages, yard size, and make adjustments to show them pretty much where the value may fall. And I like them to visually see it.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar about subdivisions and areas of what can hold a higher value opposed to another.
Yeah, that's a great point. Also, great transition to our next point. But in a little synopsis is sometimes they can be savvy sellers. They can understand the market. They can understand their value of the home, but it is coming from a place of emotions or emotional decision. They raised a family in that home. They've had memories in that home. So it is a common mistake that homeowners overvalue their home and sometimes price it too high. And you see that often with a lot of homes that hit the market that are overpriced and kind of have to backtrack. So hiring a local real estate professional can help you determine that price.
Yes.
And narrow in on that value to be able to drive it up or, get what we want and take home what we are comfortable with. So with that being said, the second point is, do you want to make a point on that or make a point on finding the right listing agent?
No, I just want to say that, in this market, there's a fine line. You don't want to overprice it and shoot yourself in the foot. You want to make sure that fine line, so let the market drive it up. Here's your appraised value. Let the market drive it up.
And some people want to, let's just do an example. Like some people, let's say the house might be, we believe based on what the market is, or the data is showing us, that it might sell for $250. But pricing at $250 is not always the best strategy. It might be smarter to price it at $235, get a little more buzz, and drive that value up versus maybe pricing it for $265 and having to backpedal.
Yep.
You just shoot yourself in the foot sometimes.
Yep. So just getting on that fine line.
Yep.
And not leaving money on the table.
And with that being said, finding the right listing agent is probably the biggest, most important step that we would say, but also I'm sure a lot of other consumers would say. So why is it important? I know we talked a little bit about it already, but why is it important for the listeners to hire and find the right listing agent?
Well, a listing agent can either make you money or lose your money. I mean, if they're not pricing it properly or doing their job properly, money can be left on the table, and we don't want to do that. So somebody that is educated, knows the business, knows the local market, is going to be your best advocate and get you top dollar in the shortest amount of time.
2 things I want to point out that you did just say: local agents to the home and to the area. More times than not, you get a lot of agents that come in from other parts of the community, other counties. And sometimes it doesn't get listed on our MLS. And local agents aren't seeing that stuff. So there's not such a competitive buzz about it because people are missing that. So that's a huge disservice if you don't have a local agent. And we would see the exact same thing. We've got a couple that is selling a house in Madison Heights, and I said, don't call us. We can give you a recommendation for somebody in that area, but we're not the best people to list your house.
It's a disservice to try and work, out of area.
And then two, and you've already said it, but you need an experienced agent that knows the market to create a battle plan to promote and show your house accordingly. Mm-hmm. So you're getting top dollar.
Yep.
So you're not leaving money on the table, and you're not losing money in the big picture of the home buying or the home selling process.
Huge asset.
Yeah. This is a big one, but it's kind of like the synopsis of some basic points to get your house sell ready. Depersonalize, declutter, deep clean.
Yep.
Why is it good to depersonalize?
Well, people don't want to see your stuff. Less is more. You don't want your pictures on the wall or all your knicky-knacks, because that too does affect a beautiful photography house, a house that's photos, because the photo goes to all over those personal things. And less is more, little stuff, no stuff.
Just to build on that is, maybe making your design, because sometimes you go into homes and it's very like them. Like they love that stuff. They love those colors. So making your design as neutral as possible.
Yes.
Maybe taking away some bold and bright paint and making that as aesthetically neutral as possible.
Yeah.
It's less likely to give buyers objections.
Mm-hmm.
Deep clean. That's kind of self-explanatory, but also, why is it important?
Well, it's just more inviting for buyers to see a nice, clean, tidy house. Excuse me. They're not going to want to see, the base molding all full of dog hair and dust, and fans that have, think dust on it. It's just really, really important to know that the house was well taken care of and cleaned properly.
Yeah, if your house is clean, well, it gives a perspective to buyers that whole house was taken care of.
Yep.
And it's not hiding things, but it's making sure that it's the best representation of your home.
Mm-hmm.
And two, everyone's home is clean to a certain standard, but making sure that a professional gets in there. And we do utilize, professional home cleaners in certain situations,
mm-hmm.
but actually getting a professional in there to deep clean your house, sometimes you forget to dust in certain places or clean in certain places.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna miss those things.
Yeah.
Last point is declutter. Why is getting rid of the dog bed and dog toys and the bulk amount of kids' toys, why is that important?
Well, first off, again, it's your stuff. They don't want to see your stuff. They want to see the space, that they're going to be moving into, so they can visualize their things there. Also, you're going to be moving and packing things anyway, so get a jump start out of it on it and get stuff packed.
Yeah, and even going like one step further, like I know that the showing process is a little challenging for sellers sometimes, but living in your home like you're not living in your home is kind of a good rule of thumb. Taking all of the things off your kitchen counters, taking all the things off your bathroom counters, so when a buyer walks in there, they can really picture themselves moving into that space and being in that space with their family. And then just the last takeaway is, if you do need to redecorate, just keep in mind, very generic appeal as possible. Think neutral wall colors, think modern furniture, nothing
mm-hmm.
that's a crazy, where somebody walks in there, it takes away their focus of wanting to buy that home. A lot of people, you get into very cluttered homes, and people are so worried about the furniture that's going to be removed, they can't picture themselves in those spaces.
Yeah. You only get one opportunity to make your first impression.
Yeah.
So that's why you just want to come out of the gate and have all that stuff under control. And that's the beauty. We have experience in helping you prepare and get through that process.
Yep. Next point, decide which repairs and updates to make. Paint, making sure kitchen appliances are working, bathroom fixtures are not leaking, lighting, buy more light bulbs. So yeah, why is maybe putting a fresh coat of paint important in selling your house?
Well, I mean, again, it looks that to the buyer, the house was well taken care of, loved, it's fresh, it's clean, it's just a better impression. And the thing is that if you don't do some of those things, it's going to devalue the home too. They're going to come in and say, "Oh my goodness, they don't take care of their house, and they're just going to sort of start picking at everything." Yeah. So I think it's important to eliminate that objection. Just get some of these little repair and maintenance things done.
And sometimes we might say the same thing for carpets. Pet worn carpet or cat worn carpet. Sometimes it's easier just to spend the $500 or whatever it may be for room to room, so you're not mitigating those concerns.
Well, and what's going to happen is that we know that we've got a price on it, and it's going to be $2,000. A buyer's price tag on that is $10,000. So it's going to be more cost effective for you to do that than them come up and beat you up on carpet. Again, we're in a different market. They're not, we're not running into a whole lot of that, but coming out and presenting your home the best that you can.
Yeah, and some of these other points, kitchen appliances, that might sound funny, but I guess we'd be surprised in the amount of times that you come across appliances that are not functioning or fixtures that are leaking. So being proactive, and back to your financial point, that could be a few $100s, but if a buyer sees it and they have an objection to it, it could be replacing things and 10 times that money. So being proactive can save you money in the long run. The next point was touch up your home's exterior, clean your gutters, wash your siding, mow your lawn, pull your weeds, address the fence, maybe clean the pool, make sure there's no debris or leaves in there, pressure wash your sidewalk. Also touch up paint with that front door.
Yep.
Same thing. Those are important because it's perceived market value, and it's a lot easier to be proactive than reactive. Mm-hmm. Anything you want to point out on touch up your home's exterior that I didn't say?
No, because that's the first impression of your home. So coming up the driveway and walking into the front door, they're looking at all those things, and just, having clean gutters, clean windows, perked up landscaping, nothing extravagant, just neat and clean.
Yeah. So touching up your home's exterior, deciding which repairs and updates to make. Mm-hmm. What is one thing that we do to kind of to approach that, to figure out what we're actually doing and how we're actually going to do it?
Well, first off, my first appointment, I do a visual around the house and take a look at a lot of things and try and work a checklist. But I still have to say my pre-inspection that we're offering to our sellers is really a great checklist for them to work on after it's done, for those little repair and maintenance issues, or the inspector goes in and there's a leak in the attic. We're being proactive, and if there's full gutters and the downspouts aren't working, that's other information too. So just being taking advantage of that pre-inspection, then we go through it and say, hey, let's take care of this A, B, C, and D.
Yeah, and I think the best point to kind of finishing off that is you have one chance. What's the saying you just used? You have one chance for a first impression on your home. Make it the best as possible. And for little things or a little bit of sweat equity can go a long way. And that could mean $10,000 to $20,000.
Thousands.
How many agents are actually doing pre-inspections? And before you answer that, I personally think that when you get those awards that say you are the 0.5% of the 1% of sales nationwide, I think this is probably the same stat. 1% of the 0.5% of the 1% of all agents are doing pre-inspections. No one's doing them.
Not really. Once in a while I'll see an agent remarks, pre-inspection provided and stuff, but not many. And I really think that has been very beneficial to a successful transaction, because we know the DNA of the house, there's no surprises. So we don't have to have a battle over repairs during the transaction.
Have you ever walked into a home and just got hit in the face by pet odor?
Oh yeah.
What is that? That's a huge turnoff for buyers, and I won't speak for you, but I've walked into homes with people that have sensitive allergies or sensitive to smell, and we're walking right back out of that house. Yeah. So the last point, or the next point, is get rid of odors. Self-explanatory, and sometimes people don't realize
they have an odor.
Yes. So also relying on a real estate agent that can give them some good perspective on that and just be transparent and honest.
Yeah.
Your home kind of stinks.
Well, and I can do that, and I've done it many times, and it's just it's really important to make sure that pet odors, smoke, people don't like cigarette smoke, spice odors. I mean, that stuff we've got to keep to a minimum, and I give ideas and suggestions of how we can overcome that.
Yeah. And even though they're fixable issues, for the most part, it turns off buyers. Back to first impressions. They're huge, especially in this market.
Yeah.
So make the right first impression and go the extra mile, because it can be the difference of X and Y in terms of what you're taking home. And I think our rule of thumb, back to deep clean, declutter, depersonalize, we just say get rid of pet beds and kitty litters, and can the pets stay with somebody for the next 2 weeks? It'll be beneficial for you. We can tell you.
Actually, houses are selling that quick. It's usually about 4 days.
Yeah. Stage your home. We don't necessarily do a lot of staging. We help them stage their current furniture and to make it the most neutrally aesthetic as possible. So there are no major objections, but staging your home sometimes can be a big make or break.
Yeah, and I really just think that a lot of people, I work with what they have. If I do feel I need a stager in, I do have resources for a stager, but recently it's not necessary. So I just say, hey, let's get rid of this, put this here, let's take this stuff down. So I mean, I've been doing it for 21 years, so I think I have a pretty good idea of what is okay.
You've got a good eye for it, and even too, it's not rocket science. You can get into a house and say, and it too, I think it's just about having the right real estate agent to walk you through these steps.
Yep.
To give you a great perspective, to set you up for success. If your real estate agent does not have the recipe for success or have these answers, have that battle plan, have that marketing plan, they might not be the right agent for you. But again, I think that some agents might be a little embarrassed or timid to say your house kind of stinks, or no, this is silly, we need to remove this.
But remember too, I mean, sellers, they don't do this all the time, so it's really important. I think this information helps them to know what the criteria is for a successful selling plan and a successful relationship with the listing agent.
Yeah. This next point and last point does kind of encompass the depersonalized, declutter, deep clean, rent a storage unit. We're seeing a lot of people with packed garages. Not a problem, it's legal, but sometimes being proactive, you're gonna move. Being one step ahead of the game and being proactive to clean up, clear up, and get things into a storage unit can definitely mitigate some concerns.
Yeah, it is. It just frees, the space so that it can be visually seen, and we work through that. And some people have a lot of stuff and a lot of toys and whatnot. And sometimes we say it's really a better idea to get some of that in storage. So we try to, work around your lifestyle, but it's a suggestion, and most people are open to it.
Yeah. And those are the people that we like working with too. It's not that we drive the bus, it's not that they drive the bus. It's a team effort at the end of the day.
Very, very much a team effort.
So let's go through all these points kind of back to forward, but rent a storage unit, declutter, stage your home, understanding your home value, depersonalize, deep clean, declutter, decide which repairs and updates to make alongside of your agent. And two, in this market, it might not be cost effective to do major repairs, or you not needed to do repairs, but the little thing, major ones, the little things can mean the difference of $10,000 or $20,000 in perceived market value. So touch up your home's exterior, landscaping, get rid of odors, and last but not least, find the right listing agent. And I think that out of this whole list, that should be what you're taking, is find the right real estate agent, ask them the right questions, and make sure that they have the battle plan for success. So you're getting top dollar.
Well, and again, the right listing agent is going to help you with your pricing and work through all these steps with you. So you're not going in blind and thinking that you're doing this alone. That's my job. My job is to get you from A to Z successfully.
Yeah. So good podcast. Anything else you want to add on there on any of those points? I think it was a good overview. I think it's great information. I think that sellers can take it, buyers can take it. And I think that also agents can kind of learn from this. But anything you want to add?
No, great podcast. Any questions, always give us a call.
Yeah. So I'm Chris Lotz.
I'm Pat Lotz.
With Pat Lotz Real Estate Group. Again, thanks for tuning in to episode 3 of Beyond the Keys, a Pat Lotz podcast. Live local, buy local, use local. And as always, there's lots to love in Livingston County.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to use those like, comment, and share buttons below. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Pat Lotz Real Estate for more helpful home buying and selling tips. Want a free comparable market analysis? Scan that QR code on your screen or visit our website at www.patlotz.com and fill out the request form. There's lots to love in Livingston County.